Hey everybody, welcome back to Lori's Boston Found, where thrifted is the new black. My name is Lori. I am a full-time reseller on Poshmark and on eBay, and I have also added Mercari to the mix. Today I am doing a traditional what sold video that goes over my sales from March 14th to March 20th. So I'm tracking my sales on all three platforms. I haven't really done a what sold video in a while that just looks at 1 week of sales. So I'm gonna give you some numbers, and then at the very end, I'm gonna go over some fun, interesting stats. Today I'm going to go over, I think it's 21 sales, and we are going to cover what my top sales were, meaning what my highest sales were, not necessarily highest profit, but what my top sales were. I'm also going to go over items that sold very quick, and then some items that took a long time to sell. And then I'm going to give a few reflections at the end that I think you'll find really valuable. If that sounds good to you, stick around. I will be right back. So if you are a person who likes to tune into what sold videos to get some information about items that are selling right now for different people, I think you're really going to enjoy this video. I think what sold videos can be super valuable because as much as I love doing hauls, and you all know I love a good haul, it's really nice to reflect and see what is actually selling, what my average selling price might be, how many units I'm selling per month. And so when I sit down and do a what sold video, it really helps me to reflect on those numbers. For the week that runs between March 14th and March 20th, I sold in total 37 items. I sold 32 of those items on Poshmark, 4 items on eBay, and 1 item on Mercari. If you've watched my channel for a while, you know that eBay is something that I've recently added into my normal routine. But I'm still obviously making the most money on Poshmark, and I'm listing the most on Poshmark. I'm going to go over about 20 or 22 sales today, but at the end of this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll through all of my sales for the week. I'm just going to do a screen share with you. I don't want to go over all 37 items because I just think it will take too long, so I'm trying to highlight some. So I hope you'll find that helpful. Let me know what you think. At the end, I'm going to share what my average selling price was on my pre-owned items versus what my average selling price is for my retail arbitrage pieces. I think it's always interesting to compare those two because I think they're two very different business models. To start things off, we are going to talk about a pair of pants that I got retail arbitrage from the Good American website. I got these snakeskin pants. I had them listed at $90 on eBay, and I received a $60 offer. I had originally planned on keeping these pants, and then during the pandemic, I was looking at them and I just never put them on, never tried them on. So I just decided it would be best to give them a new home. I did pay $25 for these. They sold for $60. So it wasn't a huge profit margin. I estimate that my fees on all of my platforms are about 20%. So $60, 6 times 2 is $12 that eBay would take. That leaves me with $48. I paid $25 for them. So I didn't quite double my money. And that's kind of what I like to do when it comes to retail arbitrage is I like to double my money. Even though my profit margins on pre-owned items are higher, if I can double my money, I'm happy. So this wasn't bad. I wasn't too far off. Next up in my top sales were these Dansko sandals. I bought these just a couple weeks ago. These were actually a fast flip. These took just 3 days to sell. I listed them for $68, which was a competitive price, and they sold on an offer for $60. I sent an offer out for $60 with discounted shipping. I bought these at a 40% off sale at Savers. It was the day that I did the car haul. They were priced at $14.99. They were 40% off, so I paid $9 for them. They sold in just 3 days for $60. So that was a great profit. These sandals were called the Macy sandals, and I had never seen these before. They were in like new condition. So I'm really trying to get better about picking out items that are going to bring me a higher dollar value in return. Next up was another retail arbitrage piece that I've had for a while. It was this Eileen Fisher black romper that I picked up at TJ Maxx for $20. I had it listed for, I believe, $100, and this had been around for some time. I finally received an offer for $65, which I did accept. So in this case, I did double my money. I paid just $20. The fees on a $65 sale on Poshmark would be about $13, which would leave me with $52, and I paid $20, so my profit would be $32. So I did double my money and then some. The next item that sold for $65, I'm really excited to share with you because I almost didn't pick these up. I was at the Goodwill outlet in Maine just before I got COVID, and I had my eye on a pair of Doc Martens that I only had a single shoe for. I knew somebody else had that shoe, so I was waiting for it to potentially get thrown back in the bin, which eventually it did get thrown back, and I was able to scoop up those Doc Martens. I was so fixated on these Doc Martens that I was overlooking a pair of Born boots that I was kind of contemplating whether or not to pick them up. They were like mid-calf suede Born boots. So not a really sexy brand. Sometimes Clark shoes are that same. They're like that comfort shoe. They're not like a super name or anything. And that's what I mean by sexy, not like a sexy shoe. I just mean some brand names have more appeal. Like to me, I'm more attracted to Doc Martens than I am to the Born brand. That's the point I'm trying to make. So I got both shoes. I took them home. I listed them both. I thought those Doc Martens were going to fly. I actually listed them for a little bit less. I think I have them listed at $60. They were brown Doc Martens, just low cut, not the classic. And they're still in my closet. And here I was obsessing over getting them. And then these Born boots I listed for $65, and they were a full price sale. It's always interesting to me to see the brands that I think are going to be such hot sellers, or a particular brand that I'm drawn to that I'll pick up under any circumstances. I was really not excited about these Born boots, and they resulted in a $65 sale, and they probably only cost me $2. So huge profit margin on this. Not so bad to hold on to them for 2 months to sell. It's just interesting sometimes. Has that ever happened to you where you're out shopping, you're looking between two items, maybe you leave one behind, maybe you pick them both up, but you don't really have as much faith in one of them, and then it surprises you and sells before the one that you thought everybody was going to want. Next up was a Mercari sale. My one Mercari sale was a good one. And it's another retail arbitrage sale. So you'll notice that some of my higher price sales are retail arbitrage, and that's not a mistake. If I do decide to invest in a piece, chances are it's going to be an item that I am going to list above $50, $60, because if I'm paying $15 or $20 for an item, I'm going to have to list it much higher in order to make a profit. So it doesn't surprise me that a lot of my RA pieces show up in my highest sales for the week. This particular sale I picked up, I paid $29 for this. It was a North Face fleece. It's called the North Face Gordon something fleece. And this is the item that I got a Vero for on eBay because I used a stock photo and it was removed from eBay. So I've been so much more careful. In fact, I'm not using stock photos at all on my cover photo, and I've taken them out of most of my listings, but if I decide to use it, I'm using it as like my second or third. I haven't gone back to all of my listings, but going forward, this is what I'm doing. So this was removed from eBay. I had it on Poshmark and Mercari. I had received an offer on this on Poshmark, but I couldn't come to an agreement with the buyer. They didn't want to go above, I think, 40 or 45, and I didn't want to dip below 60 because I wanted to at least double my money, which 60 after fees would not even double my money at $29. It got a few likes on Mercari, so I sent out offers over on Mercari for I think $68, and I pay for shipping. I think it went out to like 5 people, maybe 4 to 6 people, around that number. Within a day of sending that, somebody sent me an offer for $79 who hadn't received my $68 offer. So this sold for $79, which was a better return on Mercari. So this was one of those cases. Oftentimes I say just take the offer and run, but I'm glad that I held out on this. And when it comes to retail arbitrage, I don't always have a choice. I don't have the flexibility to sell it for 45. Like if somebody had offered me $40 on those Born boots, I would have jumped all over it because they only cost me $2. But with retail arbitrage, you have far less wiggle room, which is why it can be a little bit more of a risky business model. There are certain pieces that I feel good about or I run the comps on, and that's why I move forward with the purchase. Next up was this North Face quilted navy blue jacket. So 2 North Face in my top 10 this week. This was really nice. I found this at Savers. I think I paid 10, but I might have paid 15. I don't have it written down in my notes here. I had it listed for $125 and I received an offer for $80. So whether it was 15 or whether it was 10, this was still a really good return. After Poshmark fees, they'll take their 20%. That's $16. So that leaves me with $64. You subtract the 10 or 15 and it's still a really good profit. I still profited at least $49. If I'm doing all that math, I probably didn't do it right, but around that. So that was a great flip. I've been really liking the right pieces for North Face, and I don't pick up a lot of their light fleece quarter zips, just like pullovers or base layers, but that's just me because they tend to be marked up in the thrift store. Okay, the next two items sold for $90 and they both belong to me. So they were both from my closet. I just recently did a haul of all Coach bags. I had like 17 Coach bags that were unlisted. I had 25 in total, but 17 were unlisted, and a good portion of those 17 were from my own personal collection. So I'm trying to get rid of bags that I'm not using and then invest in a really nice luxury brand bag. So I sold this Coach Legacy brown suede bucket bag on eBay. It sold for $90 with $8.99 shipping. That was all profit because that was in my closet. So I was happy to send that off to a new home. And also on Poshmark, I sold this Coach Poppy slim, like patent bag with a really pretty chain. This was a really nice one as well. This sold for $90 on Poshmark. There's a good chance that both of those items sold to viewers who maybe saw my video. If you bought either one of those Coach bags, thank you so much. This next item I bought at TJ Maxx, I paid $69. Is that what I paid? $69. I paid $69 for this, and I knew I was selling at retail arbitrage. The price tag on it was $350. I looked at listings for this item and they ranged between $200 and $300. The sold comps were good as well, and where I was paying $69, it was a bit of a risk, but I went for it. And I had this listed for $249. This one has been around for a while. Somebody liked it and I sent out an offer for 30% off with free shipping, and to my surprise, somebody bought it and I was super happy. Sold for $174. I paid $69 for it. My fees from Poshmark were $34.80. So what I netted was $70.20, which is great because I paid $69 and I cleared $70.20. So I just doubled my money with like $1.20 to spare. I only cleared $70 on a $174 sale. So you can see where retail arbitrage can really cut into your profits. If you're just seeing a what sold video and you're not sure if it's a retail arbitrage piece or if it was something that I picked up at a yard sale for $5, that's a very different return. So the next item that sold is like that dream piece that you find at low cost and it sells at a high price and it sells quickly. That's the dream, right? Everybody wants to buy low, sell high, and sell fast so we can just keep plowing through our inventory. This piece was a rare one, but I was very happy. I talked about it in my last video. I went shopping outside of Boston and I picked up this sweater. It's BABAA. It's organic eco wool. The company is out of Spain. These retail for like 230 euro, but they hold their value like crazy. So it took 5 days to sell. I paid $5.50 for this sweater and it sold for $210. Poshmark fees were $42 minus the $5.50 that I paid. My profit on this sweater was $162.50. So even though the selling price wasn't hugely higher than the dress that sold for $175 or $174, my profit margin on this was amazing, $162 versus $69 on the other piece. That was the best sale of the week at $210. We are going to move on to fast flips. I'll probably have a couple things that will overlap in this department, but before I move on, I have like these little tidbits of information in between. This week, I only listed 19 items. We're talking like what's that, like 2.5 items per day? That is low for me. This week I've been working on my inventory and I've been working on putting together my first Amazon order. Caitlin was here, who's my assistant, and she was helping with some drafts, but I just didn't make a lot of drafts go live. But I'll be honest, I thought I listed more than this. It's always interesting when you look at your numbers and you see what your actual output was. And as a whole, for the month of March through today, which is the 21st of March, I have listed 80 items. This is down 32% from February at this time. So on February 21st, I had 32% more items listed than I have right now at just 80. And I wanted to say that comment because I do think that my sales often reflect my listing. And I feel like this was a very strong week of sales, but it wasn't a strong week of listing. So I would say that this is more rare for me to have stronger sales with fewer listings. I also want to note that in the month of February, I wasn't thrifting at all until the very end of the month. So it also goes to show you that when I'm not out thrifting, it means I'm probably home listing. I've been thrifting a lot more in the month of March, and my listing has suffered a little bit because of it. So it's always something that has to give in your business. You know, it's hard to keep all the balls in the air at the same time. This was a good reminder that I need to kind of buckle down and list more in this upcoming week because I don't want to lose the momentum. I feel like my sales were pretty good this week. So moving on to fast flips. What I did was I just picked 7 items that sold in 7 days or less to feature in this section. It doesn't mean that I didn't sell other items within a week, but I just highlighted these 7 for you. And we're gonna start out with the Ryan legging from Free People. I'm excited to talk about these leggings because these have been in my death pile for almost 2 years. Not intentionally. They were in my legging bin, and as I've been doing my inventory and going through, I noticed that I had 2 pairs of these that I had bought for $3 at the TJ Maxx sale. I had actually bought more. A few of them I bought for 70 cents and $1, and those had already sold and they were other colors, but I had a couple stragglers that were in my legging bin, my inventory bins, but they were unlisted, and they've been there for almost 2 years. One other reason that it was very overdue for me to go through my inventory. So I pulled them out, I listed them. I had 2. They were an extra small, Free People. They were called the Ryan ribbed legging, and they had like a slit in the knee. I listed it for $38 and I received a $30 offer the day I listed it. I listed 2 on separate days. So I found one and I listed that right away, and then I listed another one right away, and when I listed that second one, it sold for $30. This tiny little pair of leggings that had been tucked away in my inventory for 2 years, and finally it sold for $30, and it sold immediately. So I was very happy about that. Next up was another surprise. When I did my thrift with me in the car, I went to this store and I didn't have my mojo going on, and I was picking up a couple random things, and I ended up picking up this little boho knit hat. All of their winter gear was 50% off. So this hat was 50 cents, and it was just cute, but I keep talking about buying things for spring, and I went home with this winter hat. No tags inside, didn't know what the fabric was. I guessed that it was probably a wool blend. Listed it for $20 or $22, and in 4 days, I got an offer for $15 on this little hat. So even though this wasn't a huge return, like I was talking about, I'm trying to be more selective about shopping, it was really low cost. It was 50 cents, didn't take up a lot of inventory, cute little hat, it just spoke to me. So that sold really quickly, and I was so happy about that. The other thing that sold were these Brooks sneakers, these running sneakers. I featured these in a very recent haul. These only took 3 days to sell. These also may have sold to a viewer. There were 2 people who messaged me that said they wanted to buy the sneakers after they saw the video and it had already sold. And that doesn't always happen with my videos, but sometimes it does if I happen to have an item that is pretty hot, which I didn't realize that these sneakers would be so popular. I know Brooks is a really good running shoe, and these showed very little wear, and I really love the style of them. So they took 3 days to sell. They sold in a bundle. So I had them listed at $50. The bundle was a 20% off savings, so we're gonna say that these sold for $40. I paid $4.99 for these sneakers, and they sold in 3 days. That was a great return. Next up was this pink Coach bag. Another little bag that had been in my death pile. I've been like really trying to make it a point to list those bags because I know I've received a lot of messages about my Coach bags. This bag also sold as part of a bundle, and it took 5 days to sell. The sad part is that also in the same haul where I bought the little knit cap, I got this little bowl. It was this green little bowl, and I loved it so much. It was just, again, like a little kind of bohemian trinket bowl. I paid $1.99 for it. It sold in a bundle. I had it listed for $22, and I also shipped it with a coat, and I had wrapped it in bubble wrap, then wrapped it in paper, and then put it in between the two cloth items that I was selling, and it broke in transit, and I'm so sad. If you sell a bundle and there's a problem with one of the items, Poshmark doesn't have the capability, or you as a seller don't have the capability to offer like a partial credit on a broken item, or like if somebody buys 3 things and there's like damage on one of them, like in this case, I'm trying to work something out with my buyer where she picks something else from my closet and I ship it free of charge. But it would be really nice if Poshmark gave us the option to do partial refunds on an item, because then I could just refund her and we could be done. And it gets a lot messier with bundles if there's a problem with one item in the bundle. The dance goes that I mentioned earlier, those sold in 3 days. I sold a bundle box to a viewer, actually one of my very best customers. Her name is Vicky. Hi Vicky, how are you? And thank you so much for your purchase. I did 15 bundle boxes, and I didn't do a YouTube video on it, and I feel kind of bad because last year when I did my bundle boxes, I did showcase all of them in a video and I held up every item, and those sold really quickly. But because I just kind of listed them and didn't feature them on YouTube, and I didn't promote them quite as much this year, I listed 15 and 6 or 7 have sold. So this one sold in 7 days to my friend Vicky. Everything else, the other 6 had sold in the prior week. But if you are interested in getting inventory for really inexpensive, all of my bundle boxes, they ranged between 5 and 7 or 8 items per box, and they sell for just $30 on Poshmark. So you can go to my Poshmark closet and you can look at bundle boxes. You can type in bundle boxes, or you can search just in. And the cover page is just like a picture of me holding boxes. It's like a black and white, almost like an advertisement picture. But when you click on the item, there is like a grouping of the items that you'll get in your box. So it's not necessarily a mystery box. And I do say the size and the color, and I list them, but you're not going to get like a full-on view of the item. It's a really great value. So in this case, Vicky got 7 items for $30 in her bundle box. So that bundle box sold in 7 days. But if anybody's interested in bundle boxes, I do it by themes. The box that Vicky bought was like mixed women clothing, size large and extra large. Sometimes I have enough that I can group it according to size, and other times it's just mixed sizes. You can keep some of the items, you can resell some of the items. Most of the boxes have at least one item that's new with tag. Not every single one of them, but I would say 75–80% of them did. So definitely worth checking them out if you're interested. A little plug there, I'm sorry. And the last thing that sold really fast was this Daydream new with tag llama robe. This was not retail arbitrage, but it was new with tag. I paid $5 for it. It also sold in a bundle with this really great Zara piece. I had picked up like 2 blogger favorite Zara pieces a couple weeks ago. It was in a haul. The first piece sold for $85 the night I listed it. This I had listed for $90, and this was a repeat customer. I gave her 30% off the bundle. The robe I had listed at $45, and the Zara jacket I had listed at $90, and she put it in the bundle and it sold for $94. So my Poshmark fees were $18.80 and my earnings were $75.20. I did not do discounted shipping on that. I think I paid $5 for the robe, and I paid about $7 for the Zara jacket, if my memory serves me. So a $12 investment, and then my earnings after Poshmark fees were $75.20. So that was a really great return. Okay, next up, we are going to go over items that have been in my closet for more than a year. This is a segment in my videos that I used to call in all my What Sold videos by Felicia. And it's kind of my thing in the reselling community. Long ago, I decided that things that were in my closet for a long time, I would bid them farewell by saying bye Felicia. And then on Instagram, I have friends who will sell stuff, and if they've had it for a really long time, they'll tag me and they'll say bye Felicia. It's been a very lighthearted, well-intentioned expression that I have used in my videos for a very long time. And somebody in a very respectful way in a few videos, the last time I did a What Sold video, sent me a link to an article called White Girls Really Can't Say Woke. That's another expression. And it talks about microaggression, and it talks about white people using terminology from the Black community that really isn't their terminology. This woman was like, I know you don't, or man, whoever tagged the video, the article for me, said, I know you don't mean to be offensive in any way. Or she said something very kind. So in this article, what I've learned, because I'm always learning, in using terms like bi Felicia, woke, yas, and bae hold a myriad of issues. While I could write an essay on these issues, the summary is that these words are part of AAVE, African American Vernacular English. Black people created these words, yet get no recognition for that. Corporate companies then use these phrases on t-shirts to sell their products in advertising without giving any reference to the original creator. I did give reference to the original creator of By Felicia a while ago. And I even think I screwed it up when I tried to give credit because I said it was the actor Ice-T. The actual actor was Ice Cube, who starred and he co-wrote the script for a 1995 film called Friday, in which the phrase originated. So that was where the phrase originally came from. I never, ever, ever meant to offend anybody. This has always just been in good fun, and I think everybody knows that. But it's not an expression that I want to continue to use. I apologize if I ever have offended anybody with this expression. I don't really know what else to say, except I'm not going to use it anymore. I would love to think of another little fun tagline, because this has always been a fun section of my videos where we say goodbye to pieces that we are all dying to get rid of. I just wanted to clear the air on that. I was thinking of saying ciao Bella. I don't know. I may not say anything, but I really just wanted to kind of address that. So Oprah Winfrey says, when you know better, you do better. So I know better, and I'm not going to do it anymore. We are saying bye to By Felicia one last time. And if I'm not reposting your stuff, if you tag me in a By Felicia post, that's why. I still really appreciate people kind of giving me the shout out. Maybe we'll think of something else that's fun. I did just want to make clear my intention. So we're going to talk about items that have been around for longer than a year. And we're just going to say goodbye to them for today until I think of something fun and catchy. This Flying Tomato maxi dress I had listed for $38. It was listed for 371 days, and I received a $20 offer on it, and I said goodbye to that dress. Next up was a retail arbitrage piece. It was this Equipment Femme hot pink, I think it was silk. It had stars all over it, really cute. Paid $20 for it. I had it listed for $110 for a very long time. Again, Equipment Femme is a super expensive brand. The resale of it, I feel, has come down a little bit over time. It's still a good brand. I still like to pick it up. It's been in my closet for 560 days. I received a $50 offer on it, and I took that $50 offer. I did not make a lot on this. After fees, I just doubled my money on this. So not bad. I still made my money back and doubled it, but I was very happy to see that piece go. Next up, these I definitely got at the bins, or they were Angelina's. They were just these bebop shorts. This is nothing that I would pick up right now, although I did think these were very cute. These are the type of like maybe boutique style, or just a brand that isn't high value. These sold for $12. I dropped the price on these. They had gotten a lot of attention, and I had them listed at $20 and then $18, and then I think most recently they were listed at $15. But I had a bunch of likes on it over the years. I say years because it's been listed for 716 days. Ciao Bella, does that work? Ciao Bella, I don't know. So they sold for $12. I used Closet Clear Out and I dropped the price on that, I'm pretty sure. And then that one went. Next up were these vintage snakeskin pants. These are really cool. The waist was so tiny. I think they were size 6 or 8, but they were so little. I had them listed for $55 for a very long time. I believe I picked these up at the bins, but it's been 514 days, so I'm not sure. They were listed for 514 days, and I took a $35 offer. I was very excited about that. And the last piece, this was listed for 522 days. I have no idea what I paid for them. I don't think it was a lot, but I was wooed by the brand, which was Helmut Lang. in a year and a half ago. I was very excited. I still like to find helmet laying. I'm much more selective about it. They were listed for a while for $55. And as I've been going through my inventory and just like taking a hard look at some of my pieces, I'm trying to get more realistic with brands that I may have listed 500 days ago that I thought were a certain value then, and the value has changed in a year and a half. I sent out an offer for $35 and I was thrilled that somebody did accept. Those are just examples of items that have been in my closet for over a year that it was time to say goodbye to. If you have anything clever that you think we can use to say goodbye to these things, we can do this. We'll think of something fun. I'm going to talk really quickly about retail arbitrage, sale items versus pre-owned sale items. As I mentioned earlier, of the 37 items that I sold, 7 of them were retail arbitrage. My average selling price of those 7 items, and I mentioned a lot of them here today, was $68. My cost of goods for those 7 items was $168. So if I take those 7 items, 168 divided by 7, my average cost of goods on those 7 items was $24. My normal cost of goods is about $5 per item. So almost 5 times what I normally pay for pre-owned items. Those 7 items resulted in $482 in sales. My average profit, once you take out the 20% fee, per item that I purchased retail arbitrage was $30.40. Interesting, right? So now I want to look at the items that were listed that were not retail arbitrage. So my total on those numbers for the week, non-retail arbitrage items, was $1,300.15. So divided by 30 equals $45 for my ASP on non-retail arbitrage items. $45 is high for me. I've been noticing lately that the number of items that I'm selling isn't necessarily increasing, but my ASP is increasing. So now we're going to take out Poshmark fees, and then my average cost of goods is $5. So you minus 5, I'm profiting $31 on average on my non-retail arbitrage pieces versus profiting the $30.40. So my goodness, we're within 60 cents of each other. So then it makes you wonder, is it worth it doing the retail arbitrage stuff and paying that big money up front? Maybe to get new with tag items in your closet, maybe to get certain brands in your closet that you're not finding in the thrift store, maybe for the ease of listing it because you're purchasing it retail arbitrage, you're not noting flaws and everything is sold in new condition. But I thought it was pretty interesting that I'm profiting on this particular week of sales about $30.40 on all my RA and $31 on all of my pre-owned stuff. When you add the two together, my average selling price in this particular week was $49.51 when you divide all 37 items by my total number. So my total for the week that I made on all 3 platforms selling 37 items was $1,832 for the week, which I was really happy with. One last tidbit before we go, because I just wanted to give a little bit more information. Sometimes people want to see what things aren't selling for a high dollar value. Like maybe you don't have access to certain brands and you're more of a volume seller. I just wanted to note that 6 of my items sold for $20 or less, about 6% of my items. I thought that would be helpful to include. Let me know if there are other categories you would like me to cover in my what sold video. So in today's video, I did my highest sales. I talked a little bit about retail arbitrage, quickly went over what sold for $20 or less. I talked about what sold quickly. Maybe I could add brands that are selling fast for me. You can get an idea of what's selling based on the brands that I mentioned today, but maybe I could say like, this was my best selling brand. Let me know if that would be helpful in future videos. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. After I sign off here, I will scroll through my entire sales for the week, and I'll try to do it slow enough so that you can see them all. Thank you so much for being here. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to be part of my community. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys, and I'll be back soon. Love you. Bye.